Bangkok, known for its vibrant streets and electrifying nightlife, which, let's admit, does raise a few eyebrows. So when we decided as a group of guys to go fishing in Thailand, everyone had a good laugh. Of course, no one believed us, but we were on a mission to reel in the biggest fish and feast on the most delicious food. From tranquil fishing spots to bustling street food markets, we discovered the true flavors of Bangkok in our own unique way. Get ready for a journey packed with thrilling catches, mouth-watering bites, and unforgettable moments. This is Bangkok, fishing and feasting like you've never seen before. Now, what would a guy's trip be without a surprise? My friend Alessio and I had decided that we would keep it under wraps that he was coming along until the last moment. So we arrived one day before the other two guys did, and they had no idea that he was coming.
So here we go.
Our plan for the first day was to visit Japantown, and what better way to start the day than with a Japanese whiskey.
Okay, and shot.
Yes, irresponsible behavior somehow just makes holidays that much better. But we were super excited for our day.
Das ist kein Shot, Kollege. Das sind 17.000 Schritte. Ich fliege nachher.
Cheers, Alessio.
Gute Ferien auf 10 Jahre. Auf 10 Jahre anschlossen. Hoppla. Gott. Jetzt bin ich bereit. Jetzt können wir machen.
So, the one and only Alessio, also known as Commander Strunz.
Strunz.
We've arrived and now we're going to go to the tackle shop, and we're going to go to Thonglor and Ekkamai, all the Japanese areas, and have a Japanese day in Bangkok. So yes, had a Japanese whiskey to start our day off. We're feeling very good. Had 2 M150s, and now we're on our way to enjoy ourselves and stuff our faces and drink some more. We'll see you in the tackle shop. For those that don't know, Tackleberry is a Japanese chain of tackle shops where you can buy new stuff and used stuff. And more importantly, you can get a lot of good information. The guy who was working on that day, I've forgotten his name, but he was absolutely incredible. He helped us out so much and he gave us some incredible tips that turned out to be really useful. So after successfully purchasing our fishing stuff, we are off to the next very Japanese spot. And that is the Donki Mall Thonglor. For anyone who's been to Japan, this is a very iconic shop and it is really a one-stop shop for anything Japanese. It is quite possibly the most amazing brand of shops in the world.
So crazy.
It's really favorite shop ever. So many things to choose from. So this is a supermarket, a shop, and a restaurant in one. You can basically pick up some food to take away with you, you can eat it there, you can buy anything in the shop and eat it in the restaurant if they have space, and probably the most spectacular display of ready-made sushi in all of Bangkok. It's just like being in Japan.
Schönheit.
Yeah.
Oh
As you can see, this is an absolutely insane selection of food. Anything Japanese that you've probably ever eaten or tried or never tried, you will find here. From pastries to octopus tentacles to ramen to basically everything. They even had wagyu, they had just absolutely every single thing that you could ever want from Japan.
It was ein Tentakel. Ja, man, wie geil.
As you can hear, we were super excited, but first things first, ramen. Is it good, Alessio?
Very good. Cheers.
Enjoying our black garlic tonkotsu ramen in the Don Quixote store. I advise you to eat 2 before shopping because otherwise you're going to buy pretty much everything there is, including this whole wall of wagyu beef. We are now inside the Don Quixote own brand tuk-tuk. And so we were off back to the hotel using this special tuk-tuk that takes you to the train station, and we had one more plan for the evening, and that was to eat Thai food. This was our dinner trio that we had at the hotel, and the restaurant is called Lily Foods. Now on this trip I found out how Italian guys stay Italian. They watch mafia movies while they sleep. The next morning we woke up early, got the second room, and hid Alessio behind the curtains. And I went downstairs to pick up the next 2 of 5 guys. Boys in the house. Look at this. This is how they arrive, ready to rumble, yeah? Little did they know how they were about to be rumbled. Alles parat, genau. Schau mein bisschen. There's really nothing better than when a plan comes together, and everybody was super excited, super happy to see Alessio there. The other guys were fully loaded with their fishing stuff and we were ready to go. Weapons are being deployed already at 8 a.m. On this day, there was a plan to go fish for peacock bass at a private lake together with a guide. Now, unfortunately, it was not the most eventful fishing trip, but there were a few peacock bass that were caught, especially Alessio got a decent one, and you will find that on this trip, Alessio seemed to catch the biggest fish. Now, this Barramundi pond was a totally different ball game. It just took a couple of minutes of casting out our first lure, and we already had the first bites. Now these were some serious bites and some serious fish. And whoever's fished for Barramundi before knows how well they fight, and this was no different, even if they were in a pond. After a few minutes of literally battling this fish, the staff will come and help you to get it out so you can take a photo. And that's a seriously gigantic Barramundi, and the fish were in such good condition you could really tell this was a very well stocked and very well kept pond. So I would 100% advise to go here because this was just the first of many big fish. It was really crazy. We were catching this caliber of fish over and over again, but Alessio seemed to be the guy with the most luck. Of course, everybody was catching, and especially Chris had a fantastic time fishing on such light tackle. It was really crazy. This was truly non-stop action. Double headers were not uncommon, and apart from topwater, almost every single type of lure worked pretty well. Specifically, any kind of jerk baits, you do have to use barbless hooks, but that's not a problem because there are so many fish that even if you lose one like this, you just cast out again and you have a pretty good chance of catching another one.
Ja, was soll ich jetzt machen? Soll ich jetzt nochmal fischen? Also das ist absolut krank. Wenn so ein Fisch abgeht, einfach ein Hammerschlag und nachher sagst du easy, es fällt zu. Nein, aber absolut crazy. Ich Fisch Nummer 3 und wir machen jetzt mal eine Topwater-Runde. Dann machen wir jetzt eine Topwater-Runde. Ja.
Now, of course, the epitome of fishing is catching a fish on topwater, and we did try our best, but this was the only way to actually get the least bites. We did get some bites, but only from small fish. The main way was to fish with subsurface lures.
Ik barra nummer 6.
And of course, as soon as you put out one of those lures, gave it a couple of twitches, boom, you had a fish.
Oh, und schon wieder geht das ab. Und schon wieder geht das ab. Es geht einfach. Das ist nicht normal, man. Das ist einfach normal. Ja, ja, dann. Oh, was ein Prügel! Verdammt nicht! Ja, es ist schon heftig. Danke! Die Krüppel landet nicht.
This went on and on and on. All we can say is that this is an absolutely fantastic pond if you want to catch barramundi, and especially big ones. Now, you might have thought that this would be enough for us, but no, we had to go and check out the legendary Pilot 111 pond. And that turned out to be a fantastic idea. Everybody wanted to catch a snakehead, but once again, Alessio was the lucky one, and he managed to catch 2 good-sized snakehead. Everybody else managed to catch a couple of small ones, but of course, it's the big ones that count. And here's a very nice example.
What a stunning example of this majestic fish, the giant snakehead, a voracious predator and probably the best freshwater fish to catch. It was definitely worth the trip here, especially for Alessio. But we had to head back because soon our next friend was arriving.
He has arrived! He has arrived!
More and more of us were getting together and in different hotels, as you can see. If you want to see a review of this hotel, please check it out on my channel. It's really awesome. It's an incredible view, amazing lounge and breakfast. But this time, our first aim was to go and have some food. Now the rest of the day was spent just eating. We went back to the Don Quixote store to try some more ramen and otoro. We also went to a different Japanese restaurant to have some eel and some mackerel and sashimi. This was followed by an incredible dinner in a Korean restaurant. I mean, as you can see, Bangkok offers pretty much everything. And after a few drinks, we ended up eating some more Japanese food before going to bed.
The preparations are beginning.
Now, as you can tell from my incoherent mumbling, the night before was a bit more intense than we thought it had been, but we were still excited to get ready.
Here we are getting ready for our fishing trips. Fishing rods all over the place. In the other room there's another like 20. Our first plan was to wake up at 5:30, but now we got to wake up at 6:30 and we need to be downstairs at 7 so we don't get stuck in traffic. And yes, the 5 of us are now going to go and attempt to catch some gigantic Amazonian fish. So we'll catch you inside the bus. We are on our way. Was machen Sachen, Kollege? Was machen Sachen?
Du bist jetzt schon filmen?
Ja.
Du bist jetzt so ein paar Wege.
Right, let's go.
The great thing about staying in a decent hotel in Bangkok is that you can ask the concierge to help you organize your transport. And how well did this guy come through? I mean, look at this van. Isn't it insane? It's practically a party bus, basically, with techno music blasting, lights flashing. I mean, this is a very exciting way to go fishing, especially as a group of friends. Everybody was instantly awake and ready to party, basically, but this time, no drinks, just fishing. But we had one very important stop along the way for some real, authentic Thai street food.
Out. Time to get some food.
Oh, fuck, bin ich müde.
Yeah.
This morning market is located right next to a bus stop and there's free parking, which is why quite a few people stop here. This in turn has led to one of the most incredible varieties of breakfast offerings that you can get street side. This was an amazing place. We ended up choosing fried chicken with some sticky rice, which was amazing. We also tried some of the curries. We basically packed up as much stuff as we could, including fried fish and lab and pat krapao, and packed it all up and took it with us to go on our fishing trip.
We are now fully loaded and ready to go.
When we got to the pond, we found out that we were the only customers, which of course is really amazing. A private fishing experience. Now, some of us were a bit bamboozled from the night before, as I mentioned, and so we were taking our time to get our tackle ready. Alessio, on the other hand, cast in his lure, first cast, and it was hooked up to another monster.
So we're not even been here 5 minutes and already the first beast has been caught. Erste Wurf sogar. Wow.
Although we were here to catch Arapaima, Alessio was overjoyed to catch his first alligator gar. And pretty soon afterwards, Chris was hooked up too. And this was a real monster, even bigger than what Alessio had caught. Your fishing gear really needs to be on point when you come to this lake, because almost every fish that you catch here is going to put up one hell of a fight.
Nur Meier zuschauen, wenn du unsere Sachen möchtest.
Und jetzt kommt ja dann mal führen, oder? Ist jetzt da, dort hinten ist.
I'm sweating.
Ja, ist warm, ja. Ja.
Zum Glück habe ich einen Exis mit einer guten Bremse. Da. Nein, darum habe ich extra 4000er Exis. Da.
And after an astoundingly long fight, the fish was landed. An absolutely massive giant Chao Praya catfish. What a fish. Incredible.
That's a big fish.
You should see this way, sun there.
Yeah, sun's on this
From
side.
way.
Ja,
Nee, du musst wat dit zo steeds nu.
ลบออกเลยนะลบออกเลยถ่ายรูปไม่สวยลบออกเลยถ่ายรูปไม่สวยโอเคครับ You should touch fin ไม่ fish stand rock the fin rock the back fin yeah ไม่ fish stand yeah
Deze ding
อ้วน
is
ออกหน่อยอ้วน rock the fin rock the back fin yeah ไม่ fish stand yeah เสร็จแล้วชนเร็ว
Now, of course, I also caught some fish, but naturally, only the worst things get caught on camera.
Glaub mir, man, du verdammte Poison-Hände.
Indeed, yes, I do have a bit of a poison hand, but catching these red-tailed catfish with half a rod is also incredibly fun. This actually happened to 2 of our rods. That's how strong these fish are. If you have some cheap rods, they're just not going to make it. And this was a perfect example.
poison hand.
Now here's a look at the red-tailed catfish. You have loads of these in here and you'll probably catch one every 10 minutes. Then the other Chris caught a big alligator gar. This one was even bigger than the one that Alessio caught. Again, a crazy fight. And you really have to be careful with these fish. You need to know how to handle them, and luckily the staff helped us because you don't want to get caught by those razor-sharp teeth. Now I'm sure you're waiting for the Arapaima video, and so are we, unfortunately. We sat here fighting this fish probably for close to 40 minutes, 45 minutes before the line finally snapped. That meant no Arapaima for us, but it was still an incredible day, and of course you know how we ended it. Feasting, feasting, and more feasting. Especially the fried chicken was incredible. We even had some ultra spicy noodles. I mean, what a dream come true. No matter how bad or how good your fishing day is, this is the best way to end it. Now, after a few days of fishing, the room did look like a war zone. This is now particularly bad because we were getting ready to start packing our stuff to leave. But of course, how could you go to Bangkok without going to see some of the sights? But first, let's enjoy the trip across the beautiful Chao Praya. This is actually where you get those Chao Praya catfish. Now, of course, as you can see, there's a lot of traffic here, so it's very unlikely you're going to catch a big monster, but this is where they originate from. Now, no matter what reason you go to Bangkok, you should definitely plan a couple of days just to enjoy the rich history and culture of this amazing country. We opted to visit the temple of Wat Arun and Wat Pho. Beautiful architecture and an insight into Thai history is definitely a cool way to enjoy your afternoon. Once you're done with the first temple, you can just hop onto a ferry where you will pay less than $1 to be ferried over to the other side. And this is also quite exciting because it's a very busy river. Over on the other side, after you whack a couple of gongs, you can go inside and see the legendary reclining Buddha. Now, one more thing to mention for all those that love water. People talk about taking the BTS or the MRT to get around Bangkok. Well, there's one very underrated and incredibly interesting way to get around, and that is using the local canal boats. They are cheap, they are convenient, and they are extremely fun because if you love fishing, you love the water. And so just being able to cruise through Bangkok in the back alleys and also see some of the sights like this, it's an amazing way to enjoy your holiday. And so we come to the end of our trip. It was an incredible experience to go fishing here and eat so well, and of course also go out a bit and enjoy ourselves. This is one hell of a place to go for a boys trip. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. See you there.